Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to talk with leaders of some ASEAN countries. We had friendly and very good talks. Today, it's my great pleasure to get together with you in Nanning, the beautiful green city of China, for the 11th China-ASEAN Expo and China-ASEAN Business and Investment Forum. First, please allow me to extend, on behalf of President Xi Jinping, Premier Li Keqiang, and the Chinese government, our warm congratulations on the opening of the 11th Expo and Forum, and our warm welcome to all distinguished guests from ASEAN countries and other countries and the regions. China and ASEAN are natural partners of cooperation as we enjoy geographical proximity, historical bond, cultural affinity, business links, and interconnected interests. The ancient Silk Road opened more than 2,000 years ago, built bonds between the people in China and Southeast Asian countries in trade, culture, and friendship. Zheng He, the well-known Chinese navigator of the Ming Dynasty, visited Southeast Asian countries during each of his 7 voyages to the Western Seas, sowing the seeds of peace and friendship. Over thousands of years, the Chinese people and people in Southeast Asian countries have, by way of the ancient Maritime Silk Road, built friendship and developed trade, leaving many unforgettable stories in history. In the new era, a new chapter in China-ASEAN friendship has been opened. Since the commencement of dialogue relations in 1991 to the establishment of strategic partnership in 2003, China-ASEAN relations have traversed a non-Euro path and set a fine example of good neighborliness and cooperation. Our political mutual trust has continuously increased, and we have supported each other in many major international and regional affairs. Among ASEAN's dialogue partners, China is the first to join the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia. With deepening business ties, we have put in place the world's largest free trade zone of developing countries. As each other's major trade and investment partners, China and ASEAN have quadrupled their trade from $105.9 billion to $443.6 billion in 2013. And the two-way cumulative investment has topped $120 billion. Our all-round cooperation has expanded, involving practical cooperation in many fields, including 11 major ones ranging from agriculture to IT, human resource development, mutual investment, development of Mekong River Basin, transport, energy, culture, tourism, public health, and environmental protection. We have developed more than 140 pairs of sister cities and provinces. Every week, more than 1,000 flights travel between China and ASEAN countries. Every year, more than 18 million people make mutual visits between our two sides. And we have exchanged 180,000 students. China and ASEAN have worked together in successfully fighting major natural disasters and communicable diseases. Not long ago, in the wake of the earthquake in Ludian, Yunnan, which caused huge loss of life and property, leaders of ASEAN countries have expressed their sympathies to and support for the Chinese government and people. What has happened shows that China-ASEAN friendship and cooperation has not only benefited people of both sides, but also facilitated the peace, stability, and development of the region. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, this year marks the beginning of the second decade of China-ASEAN strategic partnership. Our relations are standing at a new historical starting point. The Chinese government will, as always, attach great importance to advancing friendship and cooperation with ASEAN, while staying committed to forging friendship and partnership with our neighbors. We will grow our relations in line with the principle of amity, sincerity, mutual benefit, and inclusiveness. China will continue to give priority to ASEAN in its neighborhood diplomacy, support ASEAN's growth, and its endeavor to build the ASEAN community and support the centrality of ASEAN in regional cooperation. We are ready to work hand in hand with ASEAN for a sound, stable, and dynamic China-ASEAN relationship. China, engaged in deepening reform comprehensively and opening wider to the outside world, is working towards the Chinese dream of the great renewal of the Chinese nation. ASEAN, as a thriving organization of developing countries, is also moving towards its goal of building the ASEAN community by 2015. For China and ASEAN, we share similar development goals, and both give priority to growing our economies and improving people's livelihood, so as to have an even brighter future. Since the beginning of this year, China's economy has been within a proper range, with major indicators meeting our expectations for the year. In the first half of 2014, our GDP increased by 7.4%, leading all the major economies in the world. Such a growth rate is conducive not only to China's efforts in adjusting economic structure and improving the quality of performance of the growth, but also to the steady recovery of world economy. In the coming 5 years, China will import more than $10 trillion worth of goods. Our outbound investment will exceed $500 billion, and outbound Chinese tourists will exceed 500 million. The sustained sound growth of Chinese economy will continue to drive world economic growth and bring more benefits to the people of ASEAN countries. China, by staying committed to the path of peaceful development and the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, we are ready to join efforts with all other countries in the world to pursue, uphold, and share peace, so that we will be able to live in amity and enjoy harmonious development. The peace and stability of South China Sea concerns the development, prosperity, and well-being of the people in the region, and serves the common interests of all the regional countries. China firmly upholds its territorial sovereignty, maritime rights and interests, and state security. At the same time, we have been committed to peacefully solving disputes with countries directly concerned through consultation and negotiation on the basis of respect of history and international law. China is ready to work with ASEAN countries to implement the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea in a comprehensive and effective manner, actively advance the consultation on a code of conduct in the South China Sea, enhance dialogue communication, promote practical cooperation, work together to remove various disturbances, and turn the South China Sea into a sea of peace, friendship, and cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, last October, President Xi Jinping, during his visit to some ASEAN countries, made the proposal that China and ASEAN work together for the 21st century Maritime Silk Road and China-ASEAN Community of Shared Destiny. This forward-looking proposal is aimed at building on historical achievements and embracing the trend of the times. It's a major strategic vision that meets the shared aspiration of China and ASEAN for common development and charts a course for future growth of China-ASEAN relations. The 21st century Maritime Silk Road is a road for win-win cooperation based on common development and prosperity. It is also a road of peace and friendship based on deeper mutual understanding, trust, and stronger all-round exchanges. It will surely create for both sides more convergent interests and new areas for economic growth, and identify new convergent points in our strategic partnership. Premier Li Keqiang put forward a 2+7 cooperation framework at China-ASEAN Summit last year, identified 2 points of consensus and 7 areas of cooperation. He highlighted the priorities and outlined blueprint for China-ASEAN cooperation, further boosting our relations and comprehensive cooperation. We need to act in an inclusive and open spirit to enhance solidarity and cooperation, actively implement the consensus reached by our leaders, and work for the new glories of the 21st century Maritime Silk Road by facilitating policy, communication, road connectivity, trade, monetary circulation, and understanding between our people.
To this end, I would like to make a 6-point proposal. First, work hard to deepen political mutual trust. Political mutual trust underpins and guarantees the sustained, sound, and steady growth of China-ASEAN relations. Among ASEAN's dialogue partners, China is the first to establish a strategic partnership with it. We also want to be the first to conclude a treaty on good neighborliness, friendship, and cooperation with ASEAN countries, so as to provide legal and institutional support for the lasting friendship between China and ASEAN. In order to step up high-level exchanges and increase mutual understanding and mutual trust, China proposes that, in conjunction with the China-ASEAN Expo and the World Forum for Asia, an informal meeting among leaders of China and ASEAN countries be held in China on an irregular basis, so that the two sides will strengthen communication on the growth of their relations and issues of shared interest, enhance mutual understanding, and promote cooperation. Second, work hard to improve the quality and performance of the China-ASEAN Free Trade Area, or CAFTA. Trade and investment facilitation is a priority for the development of the Maritime Silk Road of the 21st century. Improving the quality and performance of CAFTA will not only promote business exchanges between the two sides, but also lay down a foundation for the regional comprehensive economic partnership and other regional free trade arrangements. We welcome the official launch of the negotiation between the two sides on CAFTA upgrading and hope that the working plan for the next stage will be determined as soon as possible. We should open the market wider, reduce tariffs, carry out a new round of negotiation on service trade commitments, sign cooperation agreements on small and medium enterprises, energy, the environment, and sustainable development, and deepen economic, trade, and investment cooperation so as to realize the goals of elevating bilateral trade volume to $500 billion by 2015 and $1 trillion by 2020. We support Chinese companies in conducting investment cooperation in ASEAN countries and will continue to support the establishment of industrial zones and economic and trade cooperation zones in ASEAN countries, and will welcome ASEAN countries to set up industrial parks in China as well. Projects such as the China-Singapore Suzhou Industrial Park and the China-Singapore-Tianjin Eco-City have set good examples for the cooperation between China and ASEAN countries. We should ensure the success of the China-Malaysia Qinzhou Industrial Park and the Malaysia-China Kuantan Industrial Park and build them into exemplary models for China-ASEAN industrial cooperation. China is also willing to discuss with ASEAN countries about establishing cross-border economic cooperation zones in border areas, so as to make the border areas a bond that integrates the interests of the two sides. Yesterday, I held meetings with leaders of ASEAN countries. We realized that strengthening border trade is very important, and we have high expectations for common development in this regard, and China is also ready to advance such cooperation. Third, work hard to strengthen connectivity. Connectivity is a significant component of building the Maritime Silk Road of the 21st century. We should enhance planning with a focus on key corridors, key links, and key projects. Step up efforts to build networks of maritime and silk and river transport, high-speed roads, high-speed railways, aviation, and telecom optical cable, and make these comprehensive connectivity networks safe and efficient. We should accelerate the building of the China-ASEAN Port Cities Cooperation Network and the China-ASEAN Public Platform for Logistic Information of Ports. We should actively push forward the establishment of an Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank so as to address the financing bottlenecks of the region, especially Southeast Asia, and advance common development of the region. We should expand the scale and scope of the bilateral swap of local currencies, expand the RMB cross-border trade settlement, set up a trading center for the RMB and currencies of ASEAN countries, and advance the cross-border cooperation, financial infrastructure development, and financial services. At yesterday's meetings, ASEAN countries expressed their desire in this regard. We're ready to build on existing achievements to further advance cooperation in this regard. Fourth, work hard to conduct maritime cooperation. ASEAN is on the Maritime Silk Road and a key region of building the Maritime Silk Road of the 21st century. China is ready to strengthen maritime cooperation with ASEAN countries and make maritime cooperation a new highlight, a new engine for the growth of China-ASEAN relations. China hopes to exchange views with ASEAN about making next year the year of China-ASEAN maritime cooperation, strengthen dialogue and communication between departments in charge of maritime affairs of the two sides, enhance exchanges and coordination of maritime policies, and explore the possibility of setting up an exchange and cooperation mechanism between maritime law enforcement agencies. We should make full use of the China-ASEAN Maritime Cooperation Fund to boost exchanges and cooperation on marine economy, maritime connectivity, marine environmental protection, maritime safety, marine culture, and other sectors, so as to accumulate experience and set a good example for relevant countries to jointly build the Maritime Silk Road of the 21st century. Fifth, work hard to push forward sub-regional cooperation. The Pan-Beibu Gulf Economic Cooperation is a significant component of China-ASEAN sub-regional cooperation. Thanks to 8 years of joint efforts, it has produced concrete results and should continue to be vigorously strengthened. We should actively carry out the building of the Nanning-Singapore Economic Corridor with the aim of facilitating the trans-regional and transnational flow of various resources and factors of production, forming a corridor economic belt featuring complementary strength, regional division of functions, interconnected development, and common development, of fostering a main artery of China-ASEAN cooperation. In order to further support the building of the ASEAN community and help ASEAN narrow regional development gaps, China is ready to set up a dialogue and cooperation mechanism with other countries along the Mekong River, which complements and coordinates with the Greater Mekong Sub-Region Economic Cooperation Program, so that sub-regional cooperation will bring even greater benefit to people of China and ASEAN countries. Sixth, work hard to increase cultural and people-to-people exchanges. Great and deeper mutual understanding between the people is conducive to the all-round, sustained, and steady growth of the friendship between the two sides. China is ready to further strengthen cooperation with ASEAN countries in education, culture, science and technology, environmental protection, tourism, health, and other sectors, and enhance exchanges between the youth, media, and think tanks, and at the subnational level. China will deliver on its commitment of providing 15,000 scholarships for ASEAN countries, fully leverage the ASEAN-China Center, the China-ASEAN Education Exchange Week, the China-ASEAN Education Training Center, the China-ASEAN Environmental Cooperation Center, and other platforms, set up a China-ASEAN Technology Transfer Center, support the development of the China-ASEAN think tank network, and advance the building of the Pan-Beibu Gulf and Maritime Silk Road tourism circles. This year is the year of China-ASEAN culture exchange. We should ensure the success of the over 100 cultural events in various forms, strengthen the cultural links and friendship between people of the two sides, jointly cement the public and social foundation for our relations, and promote the Asian spirit of unity, cooperation, and mutual assistance. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, a Chinese saying goes, when brothers share the same purpose, they will be strong enough to cut off gold. Likewise, as long as we keep working together, we will achieve win-win results. The China-ASEAN Expo and the China-ASEAN Business and Investment Summit are important platforms for China and ASEAN countries to enhance political mutual trust, explore capital market, and advance all-round exchanges. They have become a symbol of China-ASEAN friendship and cooperation. I sincerely wish all of you good work and health during the Expo and Summit. I wish the 11th China-ASEAN Expo and the 11th China-ASEAN Business and Investment Summit a complete success. And I wish the Expo and Summit new achievements and new highlights, so as to make significant contribution to the building of the Maritime Silk Road of the 21st century and regional cooperation and development. Thank you.